It's happening. Shit's getting real. This is Sophia Musto, and I am so excited to have you here to share my stories with you because life is full of flavor. The purpose of the Zensetter podcast is storytelling, and I want to hear your story, and thank you for listening to mine. You're going to meet so many amazing friends along the way, so thanks for being here. Namaste and hairspray. And welcome back to the Zensetter podcast. I'm wrapping up this season live in my bedroom. You're welcome. I got to show you all my beautiful hats that I wear, and all their names. Behind me is Cecilia, Zion, and Cabo. They're all my fun little vacation hats, and I love to wear them because they bring out like my alter ego. And this one that I'm wearing today is my Monica, hand painted and designed especially for yours truly. Like, how amazing is that? She put a little pin here that shows my astrological sign, which I'm a Sagittarius. My birthday is December 3rd. And then she hand painted the phases of the moon. I just love this hat. We took it to Zion. There's my Zion hat, and friends shared it, and it's just the traveling sisterhood hat. And we have a dress too that we're gonna get into, and it brings back the connection. And Monica and I have never met in real life, and she is my internet friend. We became sisters, or as we like to call it, yayas, through the most challenging year as being a woman in business, owning a salon and raising a family. Monica, like me, was a single mother who has been remarried, and she gave birth to her daughter, Magnolia, at home during this pandemic. She is by far the definition of a warrior woman. I am so excited to introduce you to my friend, Monica Slate.
Hey everybody, I hope everyone is doing really well. My name is Monica Slate. I am the owner of a new Slate salon and hub here in Roanoke, Virginia. I also am the owner of a new Slate Design, which is my hat company. And Sophia's being sweet and wearing hers today and looks fabulous in it. And this is like one of those passion projects that just kind of came about. It was nothing planned. Honestly, it happened because of you, Sophia. Now I think about it, truly because you introduced me to Luna Bloom. Let's give a shout out to her.
Luna Bloom, we love you. And today I got a Luna Bloom hat that's going to match the dress.
I've tried. I don't know how. I mean, this is why this started, I don't know. I guess that's why the universe is like, you don't need a hat because you're gonna make hats instead, but yeah.
I got it a year ago on New Year's. So let me give you a little backstory. Monica and I are hat lovers. I named my hat Monica. I name all my hats. Do you name your hats?
No, well, I've named a couple. The one I did with Allie with Daily Magic, I did.
Okay.
Those, but I haven't named the others. I should.
I love naming them now. So I don't know when I'm naming my white one. It's called Wedding Day, but I'm not going to call it Wedding Day. I might like call it something from Mexico since I'm taking it there. But like, this is my Monica. And then up top is my Celia. Then that's Zion. And then that's Cabo. And then over there is Trixie.
So cute. I was going to say, I have a bunch in the back. Let me move it up.
I know. Are those all hand painted by you?
Yes. And then some of them, like the details. So like this top one is the one with Daily Magic. It's my last one left. I don't have any more of her collab left, but all of that is her beautiful ceramic pieces, but everything else is hand painted. And then there's like details added to some of it with like chiffon velvet and
ribbon.
Yours has some, yeah. I don't know why, but I love texture and that material. It's so soft. It's so beautiful, delicate, romantic. And this one, I'm trying to see if I can see it. Yeah, it's kind of like tribally and something. Throwing Shades inspired this one. I've shared her stuff.
Shades.
Yeah. You follow her, don't you?
I'm sure.
Yeah. She's in Arizona. No. Texas.
Okay.
Sorry, confusing it with Luna Bloom. But anyway, she's a hat painter too, and been very kind reached out. You're the one who was like, reach out, ask, what does it hurt? She turns me down. So I was like, okay, I did it. And you know what happened? She like helped me so much. She's helped me like create ways to paint and just letting my guard down, boundaries down, and disbeliefs in myself down. She's just been fantastic. Another person in our community. And she's bought stuff from people in our community.
Oh, amazing. I
Don't
love it.
you?
So you're launching the hats, getting ready for Christmas, aren't you?
Yeah, and I'm going to be sending some to a couple of boutiques and then a couple of hairdressers. And I'm hoping to send one to you. If I do, I already know which one it's at.
So if anybody would like to buy one of these hats, you can send me a DM or you can send Monica a DM. Where's the best place to reach you? On Instagram, I'm assuming?
Slate, yeah, Instagram. Slate Hair Artistry is like my personal account, but I also post everything on it. And then I do have one for everyone, you know, every account. I have a new Slate Salon, a new Slate Hub, a new Slate Design. Everything is a new Slate, so it's kind of easy to remember which plays off my name. But, you know, as far as the salon goes, you know, I just feel like everyone is a new slate. It's a fresh beginning for me and you. It's not just about here with our clients. It is about soul work and community work and just everything positive and woo-woo and oracle guards and CBD and pot. And this is probably the first thing I'm like claiming that on. Like if anyone from my town.
So you're coming out of the cannabis closet on my podcast.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
When I tell people, they're like shocked, which I don't know why it's so shocking. I don't feel like I'm a prude. You know, when people are like, what? And it's like, do I not seem like that cool, that, you know, like that chill?
I mean, but would they rather you be on Xanax?
Right. And that's, you know, when I was a teenager.
Or Oxycontin or something.
Exactly. Dope sick. That show is about my town. We were the guinea pigs, our region. Covington.
Where are you? Where is your town? Like, so you're in
Roanoke.
Oh, you're in Roanoke.
So my business is in Roanoke and where I grew up. I'm in Franklin County, which is just like kind of like the outskirts. It's, to me, we're all kind of connected. It's 20 minutes from this area. And then it goes all the way up to West Virginia, which is about 2 hours from me, as far as the show is concerned. Like we were the guinea pigs for them to try oxycodone on and just kept being like, up it.
Well, for me, like having the podcast and like, I've always been open with my children. And I talked about this.
Me too.
Well, that's because we have to stop the stigma. I mean, think about the prohibition of alcohol and all those people that went to speakeasies.
Yeah, in the 20s.
On my episode with Damien from Derived, he created a speakeasy dinner where people went and had infused cannabis dinners and nobody knew anybody. And he brought that speakeasy back. And I'm like, we are coming to the end and it feels so good. Jade inspired me to come out of the cannabis closet.
I know.
And I never have felt better, because truly, if you want to judge me for how I choose to medicate trauma, stress, ailments, like I don't take a pill for any, I don't even take Motrin. And if somebody
me either, I don't even take Tylenol. Like it is rare. It is a fever. It is like a true, but a random headache. It's just drink more water.
Right.
But I would, again, my best friend, we're talking the other day, she's my childhood friend, and you know, she used to smoke pot back in the day, but anyways, she said the other day, she said something about drugs and then included weed, and she knows me. And so I was like, okay, I just got to say, we've got to stop saying that. It is not a drug. Oxycodone is more a drug. Loratab is more a drug. And and even off of those, how about Wellbutrin and all the things? I told my therapist when I was a teenager, she shamed me for pot. And I said, but why? Like, I'm not a bad person. I'm good in school. I'm just a good human being. I'm not out being the old Monica. Mm-hmm. So why is it bad? And she just said, you shouldn't do something every day. And if you were to come off of it, you could have withdrawals or, X, Y, and Z. And I said, but that's the same as my Wellbutrin you have me on.
Sugar.
Adderall speed. And you're like shoving that down my throat instead of thinking of other, so it's just, and she didn't really have anything to say about that. And that's kind of when I was like, that's the moment it clicked, like y'all prescribe us all kinds of things. But yeah, weed for me is like a distressor.
So you growing up as a hairstylist,
Mhm.
the creative one, like me,
Mhm.
was always not the atypical student.
No, they made us be quiet in school. I'm sure they did with you too.
When I took attention deficit medication, my husband said that it truly stole my soul. It was like I was just a shell of like somebody that just stood and went through the motions of life.
And don't you kind of feel that way?
And I did personally, and I'm not judging anybody that chooses that route. I like there to me there is no good or bad. It is neutral. It is like I don't label anything as any. It is just neutral, and it's what works.
And if it works for you, it works for you.
Right. But don't like tell somebody how they should. Now, if you're drinking every day and you're getting in a car, like I am kind of like questioning your safety like choices because I haven't just because of this obvious, but I just don't judge people. And when people judge me now, I'm stronger to know that it's a reflection of them that they wish they had a quality of mine. Yes, I'm too loud. Well, maybe I'm a powerful woman. Yes,
seriously.
I stand out. Well, maybe I'm a leader.
I know Lindsay just posted that on IBP's story today. It's a reel of somebody saying, I'm too loud, I'm too tall, I'm too strong, I'm too this. And yeah, they'd call my parents and be like, Monica didn't take her Adderall today. She was very chatty. And that's what I've told the teachers. You're not going to have me take my child just to keep them quiet. You know, now I know sometimes with Adderall, it can help like depression and mental, you know, and that aspect. So I'm not, again, I'm like you, I'm not downing it. I just don't want it to be the first resolution for everything.
Yeah, because there's sensory
and that's anything. Try to figure it out on yourself.
And look, for us, hair, we weren't atypical to be a sheeple and to sit at a desk and work for somebody else. And that's okay too. And so being a creative, look at all the things that you have created. You've created a new Slate salon. You created a new Slate Hub, as you keep calling it. So can you, I know what it is. Can you please explain to the listeners, what do you mean by hub?
So a hub for us is a little room in our back area that we have set up for, the original purpose was to bring educators to teach. I don't feel like we have the best education in our area, and not a lot of people want to travel or honestly can afford to travel. So I would just like to bring
for hairstylists or education for furniture too.
Education
for hairstylist.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. And then we decided through COVID, it was definitely hard to get it all filled up with just education. You know, people are leery of coming, and so we just decided, you know, pivot. So we decided to make it more than just a educational hub, and it is a pop-up shop. We've done beginning of the year a Sips and Succulent, and it was like super cute. You got to come in, you picked out your planter. She had all the dirt packaged, everything for you to take home. You picked out your succulents, planted mimosas, which you were supposed to get one complimentary mimosa. She ended up buying so much, everyone had 4 to the brim mimosas, and I don't drink right now because of breastfeeding. So I was like not on their level, realizing that people are getting buzzed. And then all of a sudden by the end, I was like, everyone feels great. And they're like, I just love everybody and best time. And let's see, we had a cookie pop-up shop recently for Halloween. That was a lot of fun. And she actually gave me her cookie recipe, icing recipe. And then we have Salt Society coming soon. So that's our most recent thing is going to be Salt Society. And I am so excited. I tried to get them a couple years ago, right before COVID, at the other place I work. And, you know, you send your stuff in, they kind of select, which I appreciate because they don't want to send their people to just anywhere. And so I don't think we got selected. I'm sure, you know, they were probably pretty bugged, but so when I was just like, yay. And so I'm just excited, and it sold out like that. And I knew it would. I had so many people reaching out that wanted more tickets, and I just said, we've already filled it twice. So 2022, just stay on my page constantly, you know, but that's one reason with our community. I'm excited to bring other people here. Jade's going to teach in 2022. I'm hoping to have Crystal, Lauren Mack, Misty, IDP event is hopefully going to happen. So, and that's just the first half of the year. So that's not even including the pop-up. So like,
I'm coming in April.
Yes, I know.
I know the sisterhood that we have created during this time. And that's what I was telling the viewers is it's amazing because everybody that you've named has pretty much been on the podcast or is coming on season 2.
Yeah.
So, and or I've traveled with, and like,
I was going to say traveled with, shared rooms with.
Yeah. I mean, Lauren Mack, who's teaching, I have her little dream catcher over there that I see every morning.
Cute.
Yes.
I love her.
I love her too. She's such an amazing, bionic woman.
All the women are.
I know. We are very lucky. You know, like-minded people find like-minded people. And at the end of the day, we need to ask ourselves, are you filling my cup or are you taking from my cup?
Right.
So when I'm with you, my cup is overflowing. Like, I feel like, oh my God, what can I create next? Monica, you are my abundant friend. I am so lucky to have you.
You're in so many of my journals over the past 2 years. It's like I'm, the grateful journals. It's a constant.
Thank you so much. I love you so much. So I love your beautiful dress and I kind of hinted about it. So can you tell the viewers your genius idea that I am so lucky December 20th, it's going in my luggage. Tell the viewers and the listeners about, so if you're not watching, you can tune into YouTube at any time and find what we're talking about. But I'm going to describe, Monica is wearing a beautiful white dress and it's so cute. It comes high around the neck and it goes down. It's scalloped. Oh, it's just so beautiful with the detail. And she created an amazing idea to share her abundance with us. So tell the viewers.
Okay. And this also is just a reminder, if you're listening to this, this is your sign. If you ever feel like I shouldn't do it, or that's a dumb idea, or I'm not going to do that, that's not good. Like, just stop doubting yourself and do those things. Because at first I was like, this idea is so cheesy. And so like, it took me a couple of days. I said, screw it, I'm going to do it. And so I did. And it's just, what it's done, I thought she thought it would be cute and maybe it would end up happening. No, she like loved the idea. So the idea is, if I feel like we're old, I don't feel old by any means, but I feel like I get called boomer by my child.
I know they give us a little bit of some self-doubt. I mean, but we're old, we're young old. We're just young with experience.
Well, if anyone on here has not seen the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, it's basically one pair of jeans, fits all their best friends, and they all travel around the world for the summer, and they all send it, and they all wear them for special times on the trip. And like one pair of jeans really fits everybody because all of them are different sizes. Like, let's be real. But a dress, yes. So this dress was given to me by a really good friend, and I'm not going to go too much into that right now, but she's the one who gave it to me, and I wore it for a goddess gathering when y'all were going to the IPP event, and I wanted to be there with y'all. And so a way to be there with y'all was to wear something white because it was all white with you all. And so I had sent y'all a message, and Lindsay was super cute. She's like, I loved your dress. Well, she was wearing all lace, or like a lace.
Oh, she looks
something
so hot
that evening, right?
Yes.
A pantsuit, something.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And so this reminded me of that. And so I was like, I feel like if she likes lace, she'd really like this dress. I've worn it a couple of times. I feel like my time with it is done. I'm a very big person. I love thrifting. I feel like everything has a story. So for me, this dress has had my story. Send it to somebody else to enjoy. Meredith enjoyed it. Now I get to enjoy it. So let's send it to Lindsay to enjoy it. And so I sent it to her.
Where did Lindsay enjoy it? Tell the listeners where Lindsay took the dress.
Greece. Just like, honestly, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Let's be real. So I was just like, no one's going to have that background, right?
I'm going to have the Gulf of Mexico.
Well, true. I'm going to have to get it back on
bodies of water. You're gonna have all these different, it's like you have to stand in front of water with the pictures. What we got to make for this dress.
I'll go to the lake.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be an ocean, just a body of water. Because
that's a good idea.
That's such feminine energy. It's always low, you know.
Somebody should wear it like in the snow near water, like with maybe fur. Or anyways, who knows where this
friends. We got a lot of friends in Salt Lake. We have to like find somebody.
Well, and I just thought like,
oh,
this really goes
Jade
all
in
over the
Ohio.
place.
Jade in Ohio. We'll get her on her skateboard.
Well, and I think she's wanting to send it to Brittany when y'all go to Destin, maybe, and then y'all can all wear it in Destin, because I know several of you are going.
That's a good idea. We can get professional pictures too. Look at us. Hairdressers are always being creative. This is what hairdressers
keep going.
You think that we're thinking about your hair and what you're wearing? Hell no. We are going so much into the future that it gets us in trouble.
I know I can't, and this dress is going places. I know it. I feel it. There's so many people already in our community. It's only growing. So I feel like this thing's going to get worn out.
I can't wait for my daughter to wear it too. Like just to sit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so fast, next, like same size as me, Rose.
Well, and Lindsay's idea with this is getting a journal. I did bring it. So if you're watching, isn't it beautiful?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. And so we're going to write our stories of how we felt, what we did, you know, like I'm going to put how I felt before this, the emotions of this podcast, why I wore it for this podcast exactly. I already wrote down my story of the first time I wore it because I didn't take pictures of, and Lindsay's like, I'm sending it back. Got to wear it again, but write down your story. So I wrote down my story. She's wrote down hers. We're going to tape it in the book, but this is just one book. This thing's going to get filled up in no time. And then she was like, what if we end up in a couple of years making a book and everyone's stories? I mean, honestly, the emotions that we could read in this, I think it's going to be so good. So good. And hearing all of our friends' stories. Like, I can't wait for you to experience and write your story down. It's going to be.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. If it snows here before I go, I'm in the middle.
Bear it.
I'm taking those cold showers right now. I don't know who the hell I am. On purpose. I'm like,
I was super hot today for some reason, and I have not been. I've been cold.
But well, that's because you look super hot, my friend. The warrior woman in you, the fire is just coming out.
Also, my excitement for this podcast. I'm sure my adrenaline's been like, no coffee needed today.
Oh, I'm so excited. So you got Christmas coming up. Have you started decorating the salon?
No, because since Salt Society is coming, I have a professional photographer coming Sunday.
Okay.
And so I decided, because it's like pampas grass, this stuff is usually in my back anyway. So I figured I could use those pictures all year long, where if I do it Christmas and they take pictures, I'm kind of limited. So I'm going to wait until after this weekend, but then, I'm going to start decorating.
Oh my gosh.
I'm excited. I love Christmas. I love lights.
You love everything. I love that about you. You are just such a positive ray of light. It's like people think that like only I exist, and then I go around you and you just light me up, and then I
feel the same. We're like this bubbly.
Don't you feel that after
I can't help it. Huh?
Don't you feel that after you talk to Lindsay too?
Yes, her cute little voice and her. I feel her personality. Yes,
it's so great. And community is so important. And we're both moms. We're vintage moms. Okay. Don't say we're old again. It's not allowed.
I know. I don't call grays gray. I call them sparkle.
Oh, me too.
I call it pretty, reflective.
Yes. And then I say you should name them. I was like, "Ooh, who made you sparkle?" Instead of piss you off. Doesn't it sound so much better?
Yes. Like, it makes me feel better about my grays. I like embrace them instead of try to cover them up. I don't even have that many. Why are we sitting here like plucking everyone out just because a few show? Like,
it's amazing reframe when you have gratitude versus angst and victimhood.
For sure. Honestly, this past 2 years, meeting you and taking Jamie's course and Hair Love Retreat and Brittany, like, I'm a completely different person. And it's honestly kind of weird putting myself in situation. I don't want to say pre-COVID. I hate saying pre-COVID, but that's right around when I started these courses and like my life changed for the better. I don't look back.
You were leveling up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know why? Because you invested in yourself. You took the time and said, I'm sorry. I'm not going to go out and drink. I'm not going to go out to brunch with my girlfriends. I'm not going to go shopping. I'm going to take my weekend. And you and I
money and put it to use.
Yeah. We met at a digital conference. Hair Love Retreat put on a free digital conference. And the hairdressers that showed up found each other. And when we found each other, it's been this vibration ripple effect of positivity and growth in all of us. And we are intertwining together. So you get what you give. So imagine the person that sat in front of the Netflix, and don't get me wrong, I do that too.
I was going to say, right.
But in moderation, it's like, when are we over consuming? Like I learned that about myself. I was over consuming alcohol. I was over consuming carbohydrates and sugar and food. And I was bad patterns of life. And I was, if you watch shit, you eat shit, you feel like shit. And then you talk like shit. And then everybody around you feels that.
Especially what you watch, or at least for me, everyone's different, but that is my sensor. What I watch, I am an empath. I put myself in the shoes. That's why I think horror movies, as a young kid, were like affected me so much, where it didn't for other people. It was just like, this is a fake show, you know, where to me, it's like, we're watching someone being murdered. Like, what is wrong with us?
We talk to my children.
And noticing that, I've watched so much more positive stuff. And if I get negative, I turn it to something positive to get my mind in a different direction if I can't get myself out of the funk.
Well, that's why I do these challenges. I'm right now, I'm doing like a mental and physical thing. I'm not trying to lose weight, but I'm trying to show resilience. I'm trying to show my inner power. So like I have to do 8 critical tasks every day with 2 45-minute workouts. One has to be outside. And like today it was 30 degrees.
I mean, it's so cold.
And then to take a cold shower. I feel sick. But I'm taking what was gifted to me when I went to Tulum, and we learned this like Kundalini yoga, and that's awareness yoga, and being aware and thankful of my body. And maybe that's why I'm in this cold right now, because it's preserving me and keeping me young. And maybe if I just look at it in that kind of frame, in a thank you awareness versus oh, it's so cold. I hate all this weather. Like act like the child. I mean, maybe your child is acting like that because you're teaching them that. But I am trying to like be that reflection for my children and just enjoy the seasons. And you know, we went through seasons together, and look what beauty came out of those seasons.
I know. And our friendship, I mean, I can't wait. We also haven't met anyone that's listening yet officially due to COVID and us not living near or I shouldn't say near, because we actually do live near each other.
I know.
And it's going to happen soon. But I told Lindsay before this, I was like, we're podcast today, I'm wearing the dress. And I was like, I'm honestly nervous. I feel like it's the day I'm meeting her, even though we FaceTime each other and video chat all the time. It's just, that's how excited I was for this, is like, the same build up that like, I hope you're ready for like tears and like shaky hands and like big old hug.
See, I go down whenever I socially meet my friends. I go back to a limiting belief mindset that don't be too much. Don't talk too much.
Be too much. When you hear that limiting belief, you say, Monica said, be too much. Hug me too hard. Okay. Give me the extra kisses.
Well, that's
play with my hair.
Hair love. Bother you. I'm going to bother people. And if I bother you, what's bothering you about yourself?
I sit in people's laps. I'm an over. I just love physicalness and affection. I sat in my mom's lap till the day she passed. My grandparents, everyone would be like, get off of their laps. You're a grown woman. I'm like, nope. And I still am the same way with like my friends. Like I'll sit in their laps. One of my friends years ago, we were at a place and I gave her a hug goodbye, and everyone was like, and we had just kind of become friends within like the past 6 months, but we were like bonded, you know, those people you meet and you just know, and we're still friends today. And I was like, what? And they're like, she doesn't like to be hugged. She doesn't like to be touched. I was like, Roxy, you don't like to be touched? And she was like, No, it's not that I don't like to be touched. It's just that if people don't usually do that and then they do it, it makes me uncomfortable. You've always been like that. And I was like, okay, you tell me, because if you're not comfortable with it, like this whole time I'm like squeezing her, rubbing all up on her. I'm like one of those people that'll just touch all over, not, inappropriately to a degree, but yeah.
I know one person like that myself, and she's my client, and she was like, I'm serious. Like her first time she came to me, she's like, you look like one of those people that just want to hug me and you can't. And I thought she was like joking. And she's like, I gave you my boundary. And I was like, ooh, I really like you.
I love that. Yeah.
I really like you. I was like, I like somebody that I feel I can be myself around and not judge, but you can give me a firm boundary and I respect it like wholeheartedly.
Mm-hmm.
So when like the pandemic happened and everything, I was like, Luella, it's your season. She goes, do you know how many people are telling me that right now? I was like, you never have to worry about hugging a soul again. I was like, and I'm going to find a way one day. I'm going to find a way. It's my goal.
The love language, kind of like reading our clients. And so she's not an affectionate person. I've got plenty of clients that are not affectionate. So instead of like a hug goodbye, it's like, have a good day.
Yeah. So you have all this fun stuff. You're married. You had a baby in your home during this crazy time.
We manifested her.
Oh. It was so beautiful to watch. And you told me when you were pregnant with her and you didn't tell anybody. It was during that conference.
Yeah.
Because, like you had to say, shh, I'm happy for my pregnancy. Pregnancy, but and that was, I think that's when we bonded. And so what is your like big dream? If I said to you today, Monica Slate, today is your lucky day. You have $25,000 to travel anywhere you want in the world.
Oh, Italy, hands down.
Oh, I love that. Was no thought.
Yeah, you can ask my son.
Where would you go?
He would have told you the same thing. Italy is my dream.
What part?
It's where I don't know. I feel this draw to it ever since, like forever. Honestly, I need to learn the language. That's another thing. It's like I'm just not learning it because I'm, filling myself with other things in a sense. But I feel like when I go there, I don't know if I'm coming home. Like my husband knows it. My mom knew it before she passed. Like my dream was to take her there one day, and she will be with me when we go there. But if I go, I want to spend time there and not just like 10 days. I want to go for like a month minimum. I might even like try to maybe meet a hairdresser, maybe if not taking classes, obviously over there, but maybe doing hair over there for a little bit. I don't know. I feel like our job, it's endless possibilities, especially with this whole on the road, education and doing hair on the road. I feel like we can take it across seas.
Hell yeah. What a boat. Hair on a boat. My dream when I graduated beauty school, I was like, I'm so young. I want to do hair on a cruise ship. That way I can travel for free, not really get engaged with clients. They have to come to me and I can just see them all dressed up. But do you remember Martin Parsons updos? You're an old hairstylist.
I took his classes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, like I had nightmares about teasing. When my daughter started dance, I was like, oh my God, trauma trigger. I'm like, fuck this. I'm out with the teasing. But like updos back in the day were like serious, like shellacking and lots of pins and no rubber bands. Watch Martin Parsons back in the day. Yeah. And that was just something. I was not a sculptor. I was a very good OCD stylist and a little bit with my flair, gave it a little texture, but people loved me. You didn't have to be the best back in the day, but I had a passion to learn, and I'm going to challenge you. So how I told you I'm doing these critical tasks. Yeah. One of my critical tasks is I do a 10-minute Spanish lesson every morning. So before I look at my phone, I do a 10-minute meditation, and then it includes a visualization, and then I learn 10 minutes of Spanish. So I challenge you to add 5 for now, and then make more time to make 10 in the new year.
Okay. Challenge accepted.
Okay. It's Babbel. It's amazing. It's so fun. You can.
That might be what my best friend Rachel uses. Does it or keep up with like how many days you've been doing it too.
And it reminds you to do it.
Yeah.
So you get an alert, like a notification, and it's something that keeps your brain going. Like, and it gets you towards your big. See how you just gave your big?
Yeah.
You're manifesting it. And the more you dream and say, I'm going to speak to somebody, like I love Mexico. And I love when I attend a class and someone starts speaking Spanish.
Me too. I love Spanish as my second. Yeah, Italian and Spanish. It's like
same. So I think once you learn one language, it makes it easier. So you should go where you're drawn.
And I'll talk, you'll see me in my car with my hands. I love how they talk with their hands, and I do the same. I love that. And their community, family.
I know, you just brought back a really cool memory. When I was a little girl, my grandmother had an Italian book, but the Italian book was all Italian hand symbols on how to do all the dirty words.
Stop.
And I was so young, you know what I mean? And she's like, don't look at that. And now it just like I forgot, but like you just brought back that whole.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
I love when that happens. I love when that happens.
Yeah, that's so funny. Oh my God, I was like a young kid too. That's so funny how that works.
When you were in Zion, and remember, we're like, there's a reason I'm not going, there's a reason I'm here. That weekend, a girl that's in my community, her grandpa had passed. And she ended up stopping by the salon that day, and my husband was here with the baby. And anyways, he works at the retirement center that her grandpa was at. And he was like, oh yeah, I knew. And just, you could see her face. I know that feeling. I know that feeling when someone knows someone that you love and they can tell you stuff that you had no idea about. And so I was like, when she left, I looked at my husband and was like, that is, I think, why making that moment, that's something for somebody. That was definitely one of the reasons I stayed behind, for her to have that moment.
She needed your spirit. Who's sneaking in? My buddies.
And that's Hunter's stepmom out there. She just got off of work and just stopped by.
Aren't you a positive to what a modern family can be nowadays?
I mean, that's a whole nother podcast that we could definitely do on like not being unkind to significant others, new others.
Thankful. Again, be thankful.
And work as a team for your child. It's about the child and the whole end of it,
How amazing that so many people love one person.
Right. And well, honestly, our community, like, my mom has passed. Her mom reminds me a lot of my mom in the aspect of just sweet and giving and caring. And so for my son to still have someone like that in his life, like I'm very grateful for. Like those are the things I could be like, he's getting, I could be a negative Nancy and be mean about it, or I could say thank you God for putting that in my child's life. Same with her. If it wasn't for her, like love her, we'll just leave it on the podcast.
That's how I feel about you, and this is why I love to put my Monica on my head. And I feel that everybody should buy one of your hats. You're gonna sell it so fast. Thanks. Thank you so much. I want to get you with your family, and
and if anyone wants to educate.
Okay, so if you want to educate, you want to buy a hat, you want to visit
sell a hat in their salon,
sell a hat.
Since we're kind of picking that up, DM me.
There's so many ways to collaborate with Monica. You can take a look at the show notes to be able to find her. We're going to have all the links. And Monica, if you could just tell people again the best way to reach you.
Slate Hair Artistry on Instagram is the best way, or a New Slate Salon.
A new slate, and you can start a new slate any day with Monica. And Monica, we always wrap the podcast with a card pull. So today, since you're my yaya, I pulled out a deck I've never used before. I've used it with you before because I got to keep it. And it's my moon deck. So it matches my hat.
Oh, is that wood?
It is. Isn't it a beautiful box?
Yeah.
So it's got my moon deck and my guidebook. And when I pull these cards, I journal. So I'm going to journal about you. I love that. And look at the beautiful cards.
Ooh, yeah. Yep. Okay. Love those.
So I'm going to shuffle these because I went way over with you, but I don't care. So thank you. You've been hanging on and listening to my
Yeah.
girlfriend and I catch up and spread all her good news with the new Slate. You'll see pictures, and I hope you follow along to see her Christmas decorations, because she always shares beautiful lights in her country town. And I love feeling like I'm there with you.
And thank you for supporting the people in my community. You buy from people all the time that I share, and I know that, and it does not go unnoticed, and it really makes these people feel more lifted. You know, you think people don't doubt themselves on the other side of Instagram, and you know, they do. And so reaching out and just letting people know how awesome they are is amazing.
Thank you for introducing me to Allie. I mean, when my flight got canceled in Denver, fell out. She's
like a magical goddess.
And like, I wear her jewelry all the time.
Yeah, I know. I wore hers today.
Wait till you see this card that fell out.
Roxy's.
I'm gonna cry.
Let me see.
When I let others shine, I shine too. If that ain't the freaking truth.
I mean, and that was literally what we were just, as it popped out of your hand, the words came out of our mouths.
If you are not in a community and you feel alone and you feel like it doesn't exist and you think women want to compete with women, I can promise you that you are in a room full of noise and you are being drowned out by the wrong people. And there's people out there that will see your light and want to help you shine bright, because you know why? There's room for us all.
And even if you're not bubbly like me and Sophia, there's so many people in our community. I mean, you'll find your persons.
Yep. Like attracts like. And remember that, because when we let others shine, we shine too. Monica Slate, I love you.
I love you too.
I'm going to end this. Hold on. And then I always end the call with, you know how. Namaste and hairspray.